Hi guys, and welcome back to another video on the NZ Day Trader channel. So previously the brand name was called NZ Day Trading 101, but now I've decided to change it to NZ Day Trader. The reason I've changed it to NZ Day Trader is basically because it's much more easy to say NZ Day Trader versus like NZ Day Trading 101. But everything's still the same, so still talking about New Zealand stocks, and we throw a little bit of a cryptocurrency in there as well, just to keep things interesting and mix it up a little bit. So yeah, so today I'm just going to make this video pretty short and sharp, and not going to do too much editing on it, just because there's other stuff that needs to be done as well. So but I still thought I'd take some time out just to drop a bit of knowledge on you guys. So yeah, so in this video I just want to talk about trading stocks that have a long-term upwards trend. So for me, I know that stocks that have a long-term upwards trend are good stocks to trade. And the reason for that is basically the trend is your friend. I mean, if something's in a trend like this upwards, a trend is very hard to break. And whenever a trend is broken, you can clearly see that when you see like a huge sort of dip and it just keeps dipping. So this was when the trend was broken over here, because as you can see, it's long-term trend upwards, and all of a sudden it's had a big sort of dip, and that's when the trend is usually broken, and you know that the stock and the market conditions and everything's just starting to change. So yeah, so this is an example right here. So main freight, so this stock is tradable because you know that the overall trend is kind of going higher. So you can always ignore this part here because we obviously know the coronavirus thing happened, and that's why every stock basically had a dump like this. So as you can see, the stock has come back from its lows and continued on to make all-time highs. So something like main freight will probably continue into the future. You can see that it's previously had a run over here, and from down over here as well. And even from its earnings announcement, it continued to run. So yeah, that's made like 36%. I haven't caught any gains from main freight recently, so just because yeah, I'm not too active. I mean, I'm pretty flat out doing other stuff, so but I catch gains here and there when I see the opportunity. So cool. The same thing around the trend, so the overall trend. So if you're trading with the overall trend, this is a good safe way to trade because the trend is your friend, and in order for a major trend to get broken, it needs something significant like this. Whoops. Kind of like that. Then you know that things are turning a little bit sour and going south. So yeah, let's check out Bitcoin as well at the moment as an example. There's Binance. Maybe this is the one. Whoops. Cool. So even on Bitcoin, like Bitcoin's obviously a subject to talk about, and you can see that Bitcoin has also been in a long-term trend. So obviously this is kind of a obvious coin to trade as well. So here we go. You can see like a long-term sort of trend up here. So anyone that buying the dips, you can see that you can kind of buy the dips and make a gain up here. So every single time. But now what we're seeing is in Bitcoin is I think the bull market is over, and a lot of people are saying that. It's simply because it should have held over here. And the reason it should have held over here is because it should have kept that sort of upwards trend. But now we're actually seeing a major reversal down here. So who knows what's going to happen next. But for me, I think that the bull run for sort of Bitcoin is over, because you can clearly see it on the chart. That's a huge sort of selling off, and Bitcoin shouldn't be selling off that much. If it does sell off, it should come back with a huge green candle there. There might be a little bit of reversal, but if we see more downside from there, then you know that it's a proper bearish sort of a downtrend about to happen. So yeah, let's look at some other crypto as well. So other NZ stocks. Again, you have your choppy stock. So this one had like a Meridian Energy. It had a huge it had a long-term sort of uptrend. There we go. We had a few breaks over here, but it's consolidated and come back up. But here, also like you want to make sure that the long-term trend is sustainable. And when I talk about sustainable, it just means that is it on like a a nice sort of a smooth trend upwards. When something starts to become parabolic, like this move here, this move is like pretty much going straight up. And if something's going straight up, you know that it's going to come back down hard. So you should be, you should be staying active, because you know that this is pretty much a straight line upwards, and this is not sustainable, because the stock will never go up like this and just keep going up like that. I mean, maybe it can, but not something that I've seen before. So if something's going really parabolic, you should be ready to sell. Like, you should be on the sell side. If you're buying up here, then you're doing something wrong, because your risk up here is so high, because you know it can drop straight back down. So if you're buying up here and then it goes back down, let's see, like about, you could lose like a lot of money, and 24% is a big loss. And I've also talked about stop losses, because stop losses are important to save yourself from further downside. So if you bought up here and have your stop loss here, then you could save yourself from all this all the stuff here just by taking that little loss over here. So that's the whole point of trading as well. Little losses, big wins, and you'll do well. Cool. Again, let's go to some other stocks, long-term trends. Fletcher Building has a long-term trend. They had that sort of oh, actually no, it doesn't have a long-term trend. It's been pretty choppy, but it is recently developing a sort of an upwards trend. So again, I need something major for this trend to reverse. Got some other ones. Huge fall back up. So coronavirus. I'll just zoom out a little bit. Yeah, as you can see some good sort of trends going on there. So again, ignoring the coronavirus period, you can identify some good long-term trends that you can trade in the direction of the trend. So I always talk about reversals being hard. Reversals are very hard, because what happens majority of the time, so if you go to like a where's Z Energy or whatever, forgot the ticker for Z Energy. Let me just search Z Energy for a second and see what the ticker is for that. ZEL, that's the one. Cool. So ZEL. Here we go. This has had a long-term sort of trend for a long time. It's always just been dipping. It used to be back at like 650, but now it's like sitting at $2.59. And look at it, it's just back down to all-time lows. And the thing for that is it's good that people would have caught like some gains probably up from here or up from there. But these people that are holding up here for like such a long period of time, they're probably looking to sell on every single spike. So these guys are probably slowly reducing their positions here, reducing their positions here. They just want to get rid of it. And usually people sell when there's a spike, and they've had enough and just want to get out of the stock. So as you can see, Z Energy, back to all-time lows. But as you can see, it's had a good sort of announcement down here, had a bit of upwards direction. People are probably holding long term, and they're like, oh yeah, the stock's going up, we're holding long term, but they're probably hurting at the moment because they're probably down by like 20%. Yeah, cool. And again, just look for the upwards sort of upwards trending stocks, and you'll do all right if if you set stops and you plan your trades and stuff like that. So yeah, cool. So as I said, I'm going to keep it short and brief. And yeah, that's my video for today. So again, if you like this video, hit the like button below. Please subscribe to the channel as well. And also, I have one more thing to share with you guys. So I am developing like a Facebook group that I just want to add like people that are interested in trading and stuff. So I will hopefully put the link to that one in the description below. So definitely check that out. So any sort of trading stuff, I'm just going to chuck it in that chat because it's like a private group. So basically, get everyone together, communicating. Hopefully we can share some of our trades. Yeah, cool. All good. All right. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys have a good night.